How's it going, Raider Nation? It's draft day here. I'm really excited. Chucky's back this year, so we'll see what we're going to do. Raiders got the number 10 overall pick. There's a lot of rumors going on and what can happen today, what may not happen today, especially this year with a lot of the changes that have been made on the coaching staff. It's going to be a huge difference. The last two picks that we have in the top 10, Cooper and Mack, have turned out to be pretty awesome players. So to think that we can add another addition to the team like that is something to be excited about, especially on defense, hopefully on defense. With Paul Gunther coming in, the new defensive coordinator, there's rumors that he wants to run a 4-2-5 defense. Some of the pieces that we have in place would be good fits for that. Depending on who's available at 10, could add a really special player that could come in and contribute right away on defense. Fitzpatrick or maybe Ward, I think, would fit really well into that kind of 5 DB set. But we'll see what happens. The draft's always crazy. You know, you never know what kind of wild trades are going to happen.
There has been a trade involving this 5th pick in the draft. The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock.
And teams are going to reach, make kind of dumb decisions. We drafted before guys like Mike Mitchell and Darius Hayward-Bay. When you scratch your head, like, who? I think those days are long behind us. So hopefully, there'll be a run on QBs. Maybe even 5 QBs go in the 5 first picks. You never know. And then Indy might take somebody like Barkley, and that'll leave only 3 teams ahead of us. So we should get a crack at a pretty good player. I think the different scenarios that have been talked about as far as the Raiders trading up, that's highly unlikely. I can't see that happening at all, especially as many needs as they have on defense, especially to fill. Their draft picks are going to be valuable. I can't see them giving those up. And then the other ones, as far as trading players like Mack and things, is so ridiculous. Some clickbait stuff that they've been adding. Two scenarios that I think are most likely is, one, we stay put, don't get any type of good enough offer for a trade, and the other would be for a trade. As far as staying where we are and picking, hopefully somebody like Ward or Fitzpatrick, like I said, is available there. I think that would be a huge impact player. Maybe someone like Fitzpatrick this year would be great. Be nickname Coach's son, a real good study in the film room, clean player, like doesn't have any drama, off-field issues, never touched drugs or alcohol in his life. Very smart guy, quick study. I think he can pick up the defense that Gunther wants to run with complicated and exotic blitzes. I think he'd be a good player and Gruden's scheme. Ward from Ohio State would be a good pick also because he's a former teammate with Conley. They probably have some chemistry there, and then having them at opposites 1 and 2 cornerback slot, I think would make a huge difference and immediately upgrade our secondary. And then with Carl Joseph back there and Obi would make pretty solid. I mean, Young, I think once they learn, solid. They say it takes about 3 years or so for a cornerback to develop, but having them together there and Young, it could be pretty scary secondary. As far as trading back, I think that's possible. The Dolphins pick right behind us at 11 and the Bills at 12. Both of them are suspected to want to be drafting a QB depending on what's left. So if there's not a run of QBs at the beginning, we might get a lot of trade offers for teams looking later in the draft, like Cardinals or someone to jump ahead of them. And then we have an opportunity to move back. Maybe we pick up a defensive tackle later, or maybe the top offensive tackle in the late teens, early 20s type of thing, and get some other picks. Either way, I think whoever they get, especially if they stay at 10, is going to be great for the team and come in and make an impact right away. The things that I like to look forward to in the draft, especially this year, is Willie Brown announcing our picks, reminding everyone Mother's Day is coming up, don't forget. This year they've added a new addition to where Bruce Irvin will be making the 3rd pick for the team, so that'll be pretty cool to see. Another thing, if people aren't familiar with the draft, is the Commissioner Roger Goodell getting booed opening the draft and making the 1st round picks is pretty hilarious. I think this year, since the draft is in Arlington at the Cowboy Stadium, Jerry Jones, the owner, recently they had a lawsuit where Goodell basically sued Jerry Jones. A lot of drama going on, but Jerry ended up having to pay $2 million out, so I would imagine the boos this year will be pretty loud. Seeing a lot of the analysts that have all their mocks all year, how far off they are, especially Mel Kiper Jr. It's pretty funny to watch them when they're wrong, try to, dig themselves out of a hole and come up with all these excuses of why teams are doing this, or team reach if it's a player they didn't have high or something like that. Like, in the end, nobody knows. I mean, it's the scouts and the teams who have been looking. A fan like myself, I mean, we can only speculate on names and stuff, but with all the rumors that come out from agents trying to boost their players' draft stock, as far as teams trying to float false rumors to maybe hurt a player's draft stock if they're drafting late, hoping a player will fall to them. All sorts of different scenarios that take place. So in the end, I mean, it's basically no one really knows until the draft actually happens. And then obviously some of the trades and reaches that happen are pretty amazing. The year that we drafted Mac in 2014, when the Bills jumped ahead of us, traded up, I was worried that they were going to take Mac, and when they took Sammy Watkins, I was so excited because, Mac was there waiting for us. So best scenario I think that could possibly happen for us would be taking either Fitzpatrick, Chubb, or Ward with our 10th pick, and then possibly trading back to the end of the first round and maybe picking up the defensive tackle Hurst from Michigan if he doesn't fall to the second round, where we can get him due to his heart condition that he's known about since he was a freshman in college and has played with no issues. And that would fill two huge glaring needs: defensive tackle and then DB, or if Chubb fell, the idea of just having him opposite of Mac, if he turns out to even be anywhere near the same level or close to what Mac can be, would be crazy. The amount of, blitzes and things they could add in with the defense, as well as you can't double team Mac anymore, and Hurst getting pressure up the middle. I mean, that would make up for the secondary. DBs wouldn't have to cover their guys as long. But in the end, I guess we'll find out when the draft comes. All right, talk to you guys later.